Hey y'all, welcome to my channel, or welcome back if you've been here before. If you're brand new, my name is Kimberly. This channel is Kim After 50. I started this channel about 6 months ago. I was at a point in my life where I had to make a major pivot. I was newly divorced, just turned 50, and also realizing that I needed to lose 100 pounds. And so I decided to start this channel. Since then, I have done so much travel, and I bring you all along almost everywhere I go. So this video is for those of you out there, maybe you who are like me and you love to travel, but you need to do travel in a budget fashion in order to make it happen. So that's my story. I have always loved to travel, and sometimes I've traveled on a very strict budget. Think I was a full-time homeschool mom. My ex-husband was a disabled veteran. We had 4 children and we were trying to travel with them. So I've gone from that kind of budget. Now I do have a little bit of a discretionary income and can allot some money to travel, but I am still a budget traveler. So this video is going to be 10 of my favorite tips for traveling without breaking the bank. Let me start by saying all of these tips are not going to apply to everybody. And then for some of you, all of these tips can work for you, but not on every trip. Okay, so let me start off by saying that. But other than that, that's my one disclaimer. Now let's jump in. Tip number 1 is to travel off season and during the work week whenever possible. I'm going to pop on the screen a couple of examples. Same exact cruise, same exact ship, same exact itinerary, different times of the year, and you will see the cost difference. Same exact hotel room, same exact city, different days of check-in, and you will see the difference. So when you can travel during the work week, not only is this going to save you money, it can often save your experience. I do not like to cruise when children are out of school. I love children. I have 4 of my own and 4 grandchildren, tons of nieces and nephews. I am the designated family babysitter. But when I'm on vacation, I prefer less children on a cruise ship. So not only do I save money by traveling when school is in session, but it also adds to the enjoyment of my trip. Places are less busy, less crowded. I want to stay at a hotel. The pool will have less people in it. The hotel restaurant will be a little bit less crowded if you travel during the work week when you can, and off season when you can. Tip number 2 is going to be to travel to places where you have friends and family. So here's the thing. Tell them, like, I'd like to come visit your area. I don't want to be a burden on you. While I'm there, go about your regular life. I'd love to spend some time with you, but go about your regular life because I will be, exploring your city while you're at work or whatever it is. Staying with friends and family, you're going to save the cost of lodging. Bring them a really nice gift, though. You're going to save the cost of lodging. You're going to get to spend some time with your friends and family. Your friends and family are experts on the city that they live in. They know the local scoop. They know the things that you must see and the things that you can miss because they're just touristy and not really worth your money. They know all that. Take them out to dinner one night while you're there to show your appreciation, but that saves you the cost of lodging. You get to spend time with people that you love. And really, you all, I am just a firm believer, and even more so after everything that's happened in my life lately, of being intentional about spending time with the people that we love. Find a family member or a friend that lives somewhere else and go visit them. Number 3, to use a credit card that offers you points. I'm a huge advocate for this because points can pay for your flight, they can pay for your hotel, they can pay for your whole vacation. If you're able to use it responsibly and pay your credit card off every month, this is a fantastic way to travel hack. Look for credit cards that have great bonus offers. Look for credit cards that have referral programs. Like I know a couple of my credit cards, if I refer somebody, then they get points and I get points. But this is a great way to cover those travel expenses. We just recently took a trip and I was able to use points to pay for all of our flights. And so that is such a huge savings when you're traveling. Now, also, not too long ago, y'all, maybe 9 or 10 years ago, your girl couldn't even get a credit card. Like my credit was bad, but my credit union's debit card also had a point system. It wasn't as good as my credit card point systems, but my debit card had a point system. And so check into that to see if your bank or your credit union offers a debit card with a point system if you're not able to get a credit card, or if you just are 100% against using credit cards. Number 4, do not overlook daycations and staycations. So I happen to live in like one of the, I don't want to say number one tourist spot. I happen to live in a tourist destination. I live in Florida, and I live in the Tampa Bay area of Florida, which is a major tourist spot. Sometimes the best trips are right in our own backyards. So if you're traveling because you need a break, you want to try something new, you just need a woosah, you're trying to reset, and you're not traveling because you want to experience a different culture. If you just need a break in that woosah, do not overlook daycations and staycations. This is going to save you the expense of the travel, the actual plane ticket or train ticket. It's also going to save you time. And there are things in your town that people are traveling to your town to see and do that you have not seen and done. So go ahead and search your town right now, things to do in wherever you live. Search your town, free things to do in wherever you live. If you're in Facebook groups for your town, go and tell them, trying to plan a staycation, tell me the most amazing meal you've had here recently. Where was it? What is the budget like for that restaurant? This is a good question to ask in your local Facebook groups. If you have somebody coming into town, where do you take them? Like, what attractions do you take them to see? What places do you take them to visit? And then plan a staycation or a daycation around the tips that you get. Look on Groupon. Girl, don't forget about Groupon. Have you forgot about Groupon? There are some amazing deals on Groupon. So don't overlook your own backyard. Number 5, organize a group cruise. Now, I have not done this in years. I think the last time I did this was like 2019. So some things may have changed, but I think the basics are still the same. I did it on Carnival. You book so many cabins, you get a free cabin. I believe the number back then was 8 cabins for the organizer to get a free cabin. There is a little bit of extra work involved because you are organizing people, and y'all know what that can be like. But work with a really good travel agent. Maybe look with one who does lots of group cruises or specializes in group cruises, and organize a group cruise. Maybe a family reunion cruise, maybe a girlfriend's cruise, maybe a couple's cruise. Organize a group cruise and you will have the ability to get your cruise for free. Tip number 6, for the most part, I do use points when I fly, but my favorite website to use to find really cheap flights is Skyscanner. So I think I've shared this with you before. I'm almost sure I have, but if you go to Skyscanner, you can search like anywhere. Like, where do you want to go? You put your local airport in, and then it says, where do you want to go? And you can put everywhere and it will search everywhere and bring up flights according to how they are, like starting with the cheapest flights you can get and then, you know, going up. And that's a great way to find a great deal on flights. My number 7 tip is going to be, and this one requires quite a bit of flexibility. You got to be flexible on dates. You got to be flexible on where you're going. Start with your budget in mind. I will often go to Southwest because that's who I fly most of the time. I will often go to Southwest and just search and see where I can go. And they have like they have an option that will show you, like if you say you want to go from Orlando to Atlanta, a calendar will come up. I think it's called the low fare calendar, and it will show you all the days of that month and how much that flight is going to be on all of those days, so that you can select the days that are the least expensive. You can also search for from your local airport to wherever they fly from your airport and look for the cheapest flights. And so I will plan a whole vacation, not because I don't sit down saying, okay, I want to go to Philadelphia. I sit down and say, where can we fly for cheap? Okay, so we can fly to South Carolina for $49 each way. Well, that's where we're going. And then I plan the trip around that. So kind of reverse engineer your trip. If you know that you want to take a solo 3-day getaway and you know you have X amount of dollars, go ahead and reverse engineer, work backwards. So search the airlines websites for the cheapest flights, search the cruise websites for the least expensive cruise. Plan your vacation around that jackpot flight or cruise that you found. Tip number 8 is look for free or inexpensive things to do wherever you're going. Like I just said, Google free things to do in Orlando, free things to do in Jacksonville, and kind of work from there. You can look for inexpensive things to do wherever you're going. You can even do it, like if you're cruising, free things to do in Nassau, free things to do in Cozumel, and work from there. There are free walking tours that you can do. There are beautiful parks in a lot of the different cities that you just absolutely must visit. We have a nature trail here that's like $3, which is absolutely amazing. And so there are things like that you can find all over and have a wonderful time and not spend a whole bunch of money. Number 9 is going to be to set up a dedicated travel fund. I shared with you all in a recent video that I use the cash envelope system. If you'd like for me to do a video on that, I will absolutely do it, because it completely changed my life. Like, and I don't even say that lightly. Like, I now do not spend money on something if I don't have money in my budget to spend on something. Like, amazing, right? Like, mind-blowing, right? I mean, it's common sense to a lot of people, but it wasn't a common practice for me. I wasn't keeping up. So anyway, I don't want to get off on that tangent, but I use the cash envelope system, but you don't have to. You can just take every paycheck and transfer a little bit of money over into a dedicated travel account. I actually use cash, and every paycheck I put some cash into an envelope, and it is my travel envelope, and I plan all of my travels around that. I just a couple days ago paid off a cruise, and so my envelope is like really skimpy right now. So you know what that means? That means my travel for this month is a staycation and a Margaritaville at Sea cruise. And that's a free cruise. Of course, again, I have to pay the fees associated with the cruise, but not the actual cruise itself. And that's because my travel envelope is a little bit skimpy. But have a dedicated account for travel. You all, switching over $20, $50, $100, whatever your budget is, switching over a little bit of money, transferring over a little bit of money, putting a little bit of cash in an envelope every time you get paid, it adds up. And then when you take your trip, you're not stressed. You're not robbing Peter to pay Paul. My mom used to say that. Anybody else's mom used to say that? You're not robbing Peter to pay Paul. That money was set aside and it was ready, sitting, waiting for that purpose. And it makes your travel so much more enjoyable when you're not running up a credit card and paying interest on it or stressed about how you're going to do it. So have a dedicated travel fund. Number 10 is to save on food. So one of my good tips is, if there is a restaurant that you just really want to try, like you've been looking forward to it and it is going to really add to your trip to go eat at this restaurant. Check and see if it costs less to eat there during lunch as opposed to dinner, because a lot of times they are serving the same food, maybe in a smaller portion size. You get the same or very similar experience and you're saving quite a bit of money. The other thing that I would say to do is to pack some snacks with you, so that you can, if you're in a hotel or if you're in Airbnb, do a grocery order, have groceries delivered or go pick them up. But if you're in a hotel, pack some snacks with you so that you're not ordering room service just because you're hungry or snacky at the end of the night. Also, that allows you to pack some snacks in your bag if you're out exploring during the day, so that way you're not stopping to get something to eat, not because this is like a place that you really want to try, because that's different, but because I'm just hungry and need to grab something. If you're just hungry and need to grab something, get one of the snacks that's in your bag, sis, and save them coins, okay? So pack some snacks with you. Our cruising, check to see with your cruise line what you're allowed to bring on board as far as drinks. I know like Carnival, for instance, you can bring a bottle of wine per person that's of age to drink, and a case of sodas per person. So bring those things to save money. If you're flying, you can often bring the little bottles of alcohol in your checked luggage. I'm not sure about your carry-on. Maybe your carry-on, but I'm not sure. But in your checked luggage, I know you can bring the little bottles of alcohol so that you can have those in your hotel room and you are not opening up a mini bar and paying mini bar prices. All those little things at the end of a trip add up. My bonus tip is going to be to do your research. Like, watch travel vlogs of people who have recently traveled to where you're going. So if you're going to New Orleans, I just did a whole series on New Orleans. But if you're going to Dallas, look for Dallas travel vlogs. If you're taking a cruise, look for people who have recently taken that cruise that you're on, that's going to the ports that you'll be visiting. Going to DC, look for a DC travel vlog. You'll gain so much information just from watching another person's experience in that place. And then, as I've mentioned before, join Facebook groups. Now this one, let's say you are going to Jacksonville, Florida. Join a Jacksonville, Florida Facebook group for people that live there. And then you can ask questions in that group about, where should I eat while I'm in Jacksonville? Like, what's a don't miss place to eat in Jacksonville? What free things are there to do? I have a couple days I'll be spending in Jacksonville. What free things are there to do in Jacksonville? What amazing parks do you all have that I don't want to miss out on? Ask those questions. The locals will give you the scoop on what you need to do when you're in their city. This list is a list I use. I actually had to cut down the list because I probably had about, I don't know, 20 more tips. Maybe we're going to do a part 2 and part 3. But these things are things that I use. I love travel, and I love travel for different reasons. And so you're going to have different priorities on different trips, and you budget according to your own priorities. Y'all, I have, when the girls were younger, we really couldn't afford to do a lot of travel. We literally took them to places in our own county. I didn't even know the word staycation then. We took them to places in our own county. I mean, packed suitcases, packed up the car, and drove the long scenic route. Stopped on the way. Y'all, this place was about 30 minutes from our front door. It took us an hour and a half to get there because we took the scenic route. We stopped and had a picnic lunch along the way. We got to the hotel. I want to say it was like a Days Inn or something like that. We got to the hotel. We played in the pool all that night. We went out to eat that night. The next day, we went to a local park in that area. Local to them, not local to us, because we don't hang out up there, right? It's like 30 minutes from our house, like I said. So we went to one of their local parks. We walked around in their downtown area, looked at different things, bought a souvenir, went back to the hotel, went to sleep. Up the next day, used the pool again, went out, looking around. I can't even remember what we did, you all, and drove home that night. And my girls felt like they had been on vacation. That's all we could afford to do with them. Another time we went to Tarpon Springs, which is probably, it's in our same county, but it's probably about maybe 45 minutes away from our house. It's a little Greek village. We went to Tarpon Springs. We spent one night, you all, but we did a boat ride when we were in Tarpon Springs, and the captain let them drive the boat. That's what they remember to this day. The captain let them drive the boat, and we went to the sponge docks. We tried Greek food. We spent one night there, and we came home, and they felt like they had gone on vacation. They tried something new. There are so many ways that you can go out, see, do, experience, relax, reset, all the things that travel does for us. Create those memories without breaking the bank. We're a big Disney family. I think I need to do a whole series on how to do Disney for cheap, because I feel like I know every single free thing there is to do at Disney. We have taken trips to Disney where we could not afford to even get into the theme parks, but our girls were able to meet characters, ride a couple rides, see some amazing things, watch some shows, eat some food, and we never even got into a theme park. But we spent the entire weekend at Disney. And if you ask them, where did they go? They would say, we went to Disney World. And we had a great time. Now, we've also taken trips to Disney where we've stayed at deluxe hotels, club level at deluxe hotels, went to VIP parties, but that was a different time in our lives and a different budget. So I'm not opposed to all the extras and all the VIP ooh la las. Oh no, ma'am. I'm not opposed to those things. I just want to encourage you that even with a small budget, you can go out there and travel. So I want to ask you, what is your favorite travel budget tip? Share it in the comments below. Let's all help each other, because none of us know everything. Thank you so much for watching. If you have made it this far, even if you don't have a budget travel tip, drop a travel related emoji in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel and share this video with someone you know who might be interested in budget travel. I'll see y'all on the next video, maybe one day at sea or somewhere else around this big, beautiful world. Bye-bye.